Kaede, welcome back to another reading or Japan life vlog. So I was gonna do weekly vlogs, but a couple days have already passed between when I finished my last vlog and uploaded that and this one. So there is a little bit of a gap in between, but you know, if it's about the weekly, I think this might be a fun little experiment to see how I enjoy doing like this type of vlog. So just to start with what I'm currently reading, I am reading Death's Beating Heart. In the end of my last vlog, I mentioned that I had started this book, I had picked it up. This is the 5th book in the War Eternal by Rob J. Hayes. I adore this series. I have special editions for the first 3 books, and I definitely plan to get the 4th and the 5th book as well. So far, I'm about 70, I think, about 70% of the way through the book, and every time I sit down to read it, I cannot stop. It's a problem. So I hope to finish this maybe tonight or tomorrow, because I need to know what happens in the end here. It's the 5th book in a series, so it's kind of hard for me to talk about, but it follows our main character, Eska, or Eskara Helsing, who in the first book, we meet her as she's a prisoner in the pit. She was trained to become a sorcerer, like basically a living weapon for her country. And then her country lost the war that she was fighting in. And so she gets captured and put in the pit, which is the worst prison imaginable, basically. And we follow her as she tries to escape the pit in the first book. And we are in a completely different place, obviously, by the time we get to this 5th book. But the core tenets of the story are still there, the ones that I loved from the first book. And I just love how Hayes, the main characters in this book, none of them are good people. But he doesn't try to moralize that away. It's not like, oh, they're not very good people, but they do this as well. It shows what it's like to live in that kind of space. And you still love the characters anyway. It's hard to explain, but this is a master class in character work, in my opinion. And my favorite character is actually not a human character. If you've read the series, you probably know who I'm talking about. But I didn't think I could come to care for this character as much as I do, considering what they are. But I'm very invested in how their story is going to end. So I'm working my way through that. And I am also listening to the audiobook of The Conductors. Again, I think I'm about 70% of the way through this. So I think I could finish this today or tomorrow as well. This is a really, I really like the world that this book is set in and the magic system that it hints at. And I do like some of the character work, but for me, something's kind of missing. I don't know, something about the world building. Maybe as a reader, I really like to know some of the more like nitty-gritty details about the world and the magic system. But the way this book is written is very soft magic, I guess. And that's usually fine, but for some reason, something about this book, I feel like a hard magic system would draw me in more, because in this world, you draw sigils as part of the magic system. And the sigils are used as like a reveal plot point, or they have been used that way thus far. And the reveal doesn't hit right for me because I don't really understand what the sigils mean, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's me not taking in the information that the author provided, but it feels like I'm not really connecting to that part of the story. So we'll see though. I still have a little bit more of that book to go. And then I decided to turn on my camera now because I just got a care package from the States from my parents. And I thought maybe I would show some of the goodies that they sent me because they're wonderful. The first one that I see at the top here is this O Reader magazine. I've talked about this on my channel before. This is a little magazine by readers for readers and just talks about like the joy of reading and what people around the world are doing with this hobby. It's fantastic. I highly recommend this. It's only being published in the States and in Canada thus far, unfortunately, but if you're in that area, highly recommend you pick this up. My mom sends them to me whenever she remembers to. So I'll be reading this soon. The next thing I see here that got a little smashed on its way here, but is French vanilla decaffeinated black tea. This stuff smells like heaven. It truly does. And it's decaf. So, you know, the way that I've kind of worked things out, I've compromised with my family here in Japan, because in Japan you're not supposed to have any caffeine when you're pregnant at all, but in the States you're allowed a certain amount. So I have like 1 cup of caffeine a day, which means that there's quite a few teas that we have that I can't drink. But this is decaf, and it's an experience when you drink it, and I'm so excited that I have this. Thank you. Yes. I'm gonna have a cup of this tonight, actually, I think. Oh, I also see here cream of wheat. I've been loving having this for breakfast. I don't know, just recently these are the vibes I've been going for. I put a dollop of yogurt on top with a bunch of fruit and cinnamon. So my mom sent me this because I have almost finished what we have here. It looks like we also have a bunch of baby shower gifts. So basically, Japan doesn't have the culture of a baby shower. So we ended up putting one together in Japan, but I did a Zoom version for the people in the States. And I just have been so overwhelmed in the best way with the outreach from the people, my family and friends and everyone living in the States. I ended up having to do 2 different Amazon like wish lists and everything, because the Japanese Amazon and the US Amazon do not play together. And my parents have ended up having to ship the gifts that people got me here. It was just a mess. And they shipped, it looks like, a bunch of gifts over to me in this box, and I'm so grateful. If anyone who is watching this sent me stuff, thank you cards will be going out, but I'm just so thankful. But rather than going through just a bunch of baby stuff, because that's not really what people watch this for, yes, someone got me some of the Burt's Bees ones that I wanted. Oh my god, it's so cute. Look, it's got a little bee on the towel. Oh, I can't wait to open these. So I'll do this off camera because you guys are not here to look at baby clothes, but it looks like there's a bunch of those in here, and I'm so excited to get to them. Also have some Aveeno body wash. Hayato loves this, and it's not available here. And see, this is how you know, this is not the glamorous aspect of living abroad, but my mom knows I need these. These are refill command strips. They're kind of a little bit expensive in Japan. You can get them on Amazon and stuff, but whenever she can, she sends me a refill of these, and I will definitely be using these. Yeah, the rest of it really does seem to be baby stuff, so I'll go ahead and enjoy that off camera. But go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, what are you reading, and how do you feel about it? I'll check back in with you guys soon. So you guys thought we had a lot of snails, which we do, and the fish here, if you can see these little striped fish, these are the ones that eat snails. So we have 2 of those now. But if you thought we had a lot of snails, look at how many shrimp are in here. It's a problem. There's a shit ton under this as well. These fish, the ones that we got wherever they went, will eat shrimp, but they're a little too small to eat things this big. So once they get bigger, they could help, but that's gonna take a while. And as you can see, we have a problem. Everyone's happy and thriving. There's just not enough space for everyone. So we got to figure that out. There's the huge snail and the huge shrimp. They're buddies. They're probably safe. They're too big for anything to eat. Oh, he closed up. He said, get away from me.
Battle.
Oh gosh, there's just so much life in here. Well, we'll find a balance in the ecosystem somehow at some point. Banana caramel Kit Kats. I don't know what to make of that. Tonight's dinner, as requested by yours truly, is some homemade yakisoba. Looks delicious. You can see the dancing katsuobushi fish flakes on top. Oishisou! Hayato likes a lot more mayonnaise than me though, so this is what his looks like. Oh, Our sensor light turned off. Perfect timing. Ara, nande? Well, oh, there we go. Oishisou. Itadakimasu. Hello. So, it's been a couple days. I am about to head out to a cafe, I think I'm gonna go to a Starbucks. It's beautiful today. It is warm. It's gonna get cold later, I think, when the sun starts setting, so that's why I'm wearing like a bigger jacket, but it is very warm today. So I wanted to leave the house and go do some productive stuff outside. Unfortunately, I did not sleep well, but fortunately, that means that I read a lot this morning. So I finished Death's Beating Heart and I loved it, the 5th book in The War Eternal. I can't really talk much about the plot because it's the 5th book in a series and that's just the way the cookie crumbles with that. But I couldn't imagine any other end for Eska's story because Eska's life is dark. But there was a lot of really well done like humor sprinkled in there. I was glued to the page. The stakes were so high. I loved the final battle scene that we got. It was just a wonderful, wonderful book. And I'll talk about it more in detail when I do my wrap up, I'm sure. But The War Eternal will definitely be a series that I display proudly on my shelf for years to come. It's definitely a series for a specific type of reader, though. Eska's point of view is very strong. It has a very strong narrative voice, and you will know from the first book whether you like that or not. If you like her narrative voice, then I think the rest of the series could really be for you. So I love it. Definitely a fantastic end to the series. My favorite character, I can't say who they are without it being a spoiler, so I'm not going to say, but there's a specific non-human character that I enjoy immensely. And I don't know how Hayes made me love this character so much, but he did. And there's even one point where this character's like pouting, and it's very much incongruous with what you would think the character would do. I don't know. I found myself chuckling out loud many, many times with scenes with this particular character, and I can see this story really sticking with me. So now that I've finished that one, I am currently listening. These are my headphones, in case you're wondering why I held this up. I am currently listening to The Conductors. I am 95% of the way through, so I'm about to finish this one. And something is just not clicking for me. I think it's because the magic system in this book deals with star sigils and like star magic, constellation magic, and also sorcery, which is different from constellation sigil magic. And it's okay to have like a soft magic system, but with it having such a huge effect in the story and it being a huge part of like battle scenes, I want to know more detail about it because it seems like it can solve all of the issues for all of our characters because I don't know the rules. So our characters never feel like they're actually in peril because then some other like magic will appear and that magic can get them out of that situation, if that makes sense. And so the stakes don't really feel high to me. I'm not invested in that. Also, the characters, I like them when they're together. I like the way that they play off of each other, but individually, I don't really care about them. So that also lends itself to the stakes not really, feeling high for me. So I'm going to finish this book. I'm almost finished with it. And I think that the world building and the ideas in this story, the setting is wonderfully thought through and amazing. And that's kind of what's keeping me reading. But there are other elements of the story that haven't been not thought through, but haven't been developed in a way that I enjoy as a reader. It left me feeling like everything was kind of surface level and that I wasn't able to really dive into this world in the way that I wanted to. So I didn't dislike this book, but I didn't feel myself really engaging with it either, which is a shame because it's there. Like, it's there. The base is there. Something's just missing for me, and I'm not sure what. But you know, I'll finish this and see what the final reveal is. There's a murder mystery in here as well, and that was kind of what kept me going, as I wanted to see who done it. So that aspect of it was interesting. I just didn't feel nervous or scared for our characters while they were figuring it out. But I am excited to figure out who done it. Then my next physical read is going to be on my Kindle, Small Miracles, one of the Spiffbo finalists. It's a shorter book, and both The Conductors and Beating Heart were both pretty long, so I'm looking to read, you know, something quicker in between that and then another big read. And then for audio, I had pulled Cytonic from my TBR jar, but I learned that the novellas in between Starsight and Cytonic should be read first before you pick that book up. So I got all of those via audiobook, and they're short, obviously, because they're novellas. There's 3 of them, though. So I was able to finally get the hold for the first one. So I have all 3 now, and I plan to listen to those 3 and then possibly move on to Cytonic, or maybe I'll count that as having read for my TBR jar this month. We'll see how I feel. If the short stories, you know, really work for me. Skyward really worked for me. Starsight, it was all right. So we'll see which side these novellas fall on. If it's more like Skyward and they really suck me in, then maybe I'll continue on through to Cytonic as my next physical read, but we'll see. Either way, look forward to some B-roll footage soon of me going to do stuff at Starbucks. Riveting, I know. Finished everything I wanted to do at Starbucks, so I got myself a chocolate chip mint ice cream. I'm gonna take a look at some of the plants out here. And there's the Baskin Robbins I just got it from. Treat yourself. Okay, I am home now. And very comfy and cozy in my bed. I definitely think I'm gonna crash early tonight. I'm actually probably gonna go take my contacts out so I can crash with no issues. Like I said, I did not sleep well last night, so I am all set up. I've got my Kindle here. I've got some gummy bears, lots of pillows. And I'm just set up to read until I pass out. Honestly, I started reading Small Miracles, and I'm about 7% in, and I love it so far. I didn't expect to like it that much. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't really read a lot of angels and demons stuff, but people said it was very Good Omens-esque, and I'm picking up that vibe for sure. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this so far. About 7% in, like I said. I did some editing, as you saw. But I don't know how long my time-lapse ended up being, but I did some editing. I did a bunch of visa tax stuff. I did some Japanese studying. So it was a very productive day, but I am kind of at maximum at this point. So I do have the Friday conversations early tomorrow before work. So the earlier I sleep, the better. Pretzels. I'm gonna probably shed soon, but I think I'm gonna take him out a little bit tonight because he's been kind of preparing to shed for a while, and might give him a soak to help him along. See if I have the energy to do that tonight. I haven't started any audiobooks yet, but I only have, I think I have like 6 days. That's what's left on the hold for the Brando Sando, the Skyward short stories. Short stories is not the word I'm looking for. Novella. So I have 6 days for those, and I think I'm gonna blow through those. Like I said, they're real short, so I'll probably start listening to those maybe tomorrow. But for tonight, yeah, I'm gonna read some of this and watch some tattoo tours, actually, because I love watching those and I'm in the mood for it. So, so I'll probably just do that. And I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. So we are in Ikea and I'm taking a break while Hayato runs to the bathroom. So just chilling here for a second, but getting some ideas for the baby room. We're looking for a dresser right now with enough room to put a changing mat on top. That's our mission today, but as everyone knows, when you come to Ikea, you end up getting stuff you didn't plan on, so we'll see. Hey guys, so I think it's been maybe 2 days since I checked in. I wish I could remember what I said last time I checked in here. I think I talked about the books that I finished. I'm pretty sure I gave you guys my thoughts on those. If not, Editing Taylor put an audio insert over this and talk about the books you read, if you can remember. But I'm pretty sure that I did that. So I decided to check back in today because I got a wonderful delivery from the Broken Binding. I am part of their subscription, and I unbox these in my vlogs whenever it coincides with the vlog time. Now this is actually the January one, I think, and there was some issue first with shipping and then issue on this end with like letting me know that it had arrived. So I didn't know that my, like, I live in an apartment complex and the management office like had this for like a month. And I didn't know that. So I actually emailed the Broken Binding like, hey, I haven't gotten it yet. They were like, really? It says delivered. So I went and checked and they're like, oh yeah, we've had that for a while. I'm like, you know, you could just let me know you have a package. Anyway, so I have this, and then this is one of those days where the hair is going up in a messy bun. I am wearing whatever is not in the wash. And Hayato and I are working on the baby room. So it's like one of those house days. You know, we went to Ikea yesterday. I think I inserted a clip of that, or a quick one. And so we're like applying all those purchases to the house. So it's baby room day. I also have, you know, like this cable box because we have a bunch of cables that drive me crazy in the living room. You know, like riveting stuff. I have also spent this morning reading. I'm reading Small Miracles right now. I am 52% of the way through, and honestly, I am loving this book. It's one that I didn't expect to love so much because I don't usually read books. It's very, how do I explain it? It's, if The Good Place and Good Omens had a baby, it would be this book. And I mean that in the best way possible. I never finished The Good Place, actually, but I really enjoyed it. And if you like that type of humor, then I think you'll also really like Small Miracles. I'm enjoying it immensely. I laughed out loud more than once, like many times actually, reading this book. And I have a lot of highlights in my Kindle already, so yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So I have a feeling I'll finish that today at some point. When I take a break from cleaning and setting things up. But Ikea yesterday really wiped me out, my stamina. It's just gone from walking for that long. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be reading at some point today as well. So I'll update you guys on my thoughts on that when I finish it. But let's go ahead and do this unboxing first. Okay, so as far as I am aware, this is the first book in the second trilogy in the First Law world. I think was that month's subscription book. And if I'm correct, the stenciled edges on this thing are phenomenal. Yes, I am correct. The Great Leveler. So this is the packaging from the Broken Binding, as always, just beautiful. So the bookmark says, best served cold. And then the back says, you should laugh every moment you live, for you'll find it decidedly difficult afterwards. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's open this baby. I have a whole collection of these ribbons at this point. I don't know what I'm gonna use them for, but it's one of those things where like, I could throw them out, but it's a perfectly good ribbon. I feel like I'm gonna use it for decoration at some point, so. Does anyone else do that? Do you ever actually use them when you do that? Oh, these edges are just as gorgeous as promised. Okay, so here's the spine. Best served cold. It's got that parchment feel to it. Beautiful shimmer there. And then look at those stenciled edges. Absolutely beautiful. The detail is incredible on these. It's even got like the indentations on the coins and everything. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. All right, let's see what the naked hardback looks like. We got a map on the end pages. Wow! Wow, that's so pretty!
Oh.
Wow, look at that in the pages.
Oh.
That is a stunning book. And continuing on from the first trilogy, they have a quote on the side. It says, "Mercy and cowardice are the same." The back is plain, but guys, it's beautiful. And then we have the end papers here on both sides. Map of the first law world, I assume. And then, yep, my number, 487, and signed. Wow, Broken Binding just gets better and better. They really do. Gosh, I really hope I start liking Abercrombie. Because I'm gonna have such gorgeous editions of his books. Before They Are Hanged is on my TBR for this month. So that's when people say you really start to fall in love with it. So, fingers crossed. Alright, so I'm gonna get back to what we were doing, laundry, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. We have a big dresser to make, or with my size that I am now, I say we, but I'm gonna be supporting Hayato while he makes a dresser from Ikea. And we're listening to my Spotify playlist on Shuffle. And I don't know if you guys have ever like just taken all of the songs you've ever liked on Spotify and put it on Shuffle. But in the past hour, we've listened to like Screamo rock, Beyonce, the Winnie the Pooh theme song, Disney, like Pocahontas, like Eminem, pop. So much has come up in the last hour. I have no idea what's going to come out of my speaker. So it's actually kind of fun to do that because I've had Spotify for years and years and years. And you know, you just like stuff when you're in the mood for a certain type of music. So anyway, that's what today is. I'll check back in when I get some reading done. It's very overcast. It's probably going to rain later today. So maybe once it starts raining, I'll get in a reading mood. Had those over there kind of messing around with the fish tank. We released the baby fishes because we thought, oh, okay, they're big enough now, because they were big enough before. And as soon as we released them, they started getting bullied. And the fish, the hunter fish that we got for the shells, were eyeing up the babies, and we're like, ah, shit, did we just murder them? So I was trying to save some of them and put them back in the little baby net that we have, because they're not big enough yet to be released clearly. So he's trying to fix that. Pretzel is shedding. He's in the middle of his shed, so he's, you know, hiding in his house at the moment. So basically, it's just an at-home Sunday. So I'll talk to you guys soon. How you doing?
I need your help.
With what? What do you need?
Can you clean the trash?
Maybe. Okay, so after doing a lot of house stuff, I am taking a break to read. This is like a tray that we got at Ikea, and it's one of those ones where like you can change the angle. And guys, this is gonna be life-changing. I just opened my Kindle and it stays. This is a whole new world. I can't wait to edit on here too. Oh my gosh, life-changing. So I am 65% of the way through Small Miracles. I read a little bit earlier when I was taking a break, and then I fell asleep for a little nap on accident. And then, like I said, got up and did a bunch of stuff around the house. So I'm going to read at least to 70%, then get up and take a shower. And then Hayato and I are going to make dinner, which is going to be nice. This is the current view here with my bookshelves and everything. I'm cozy with blankets and pillows. So I'm having a good time at the moment. I do have a episode of page doing that, thanks to daylight savings time, is at 5 o'clock in the morning Japan time. So we fucking love that for me. So I'm gonna go to sleep soon. Morning. So this has a much more official looking setup to it because I just finished doing the page doing episode with Evan Winter. PL, Steve, and I got to interview one of my favorite authors. You can see I have his books displayed behind me. Such an insightful, pleasant, wonderful person. And it's still a pinch me moment that I got to interview Evan Winter. But this required me to get up at the butt crack of dawn, before dawn, really. Just because of time zones and the change in daylight savings time, which changes in the States and does not change in Japan. So it was an hour earlier for me than expected. Anyway, I had to get up real early. So I drank some caffeine and it was absolutely worth it. A wonderful interview. I can't believe that I just got to do that. So please go check it out. Some wonderful insights into the Burning series. I'll have that link down below. But while the caffeine is still going in my system a little bit, I can feel it going away. I can feel myself crashing a bit at this point. But I did want to just check in with you guys. I finished Small Miracles last night and I loved it. This is again a SPIFBO finalist, so I don't want to get too much into detail here. As I've said in previous vlogs, I'm going to do a dedicated SPIFBO, like the 10 finalists video. This is the 7th out of the 10 books that I've read. Before We Go blog has already released the cumulative points, the cumulative score for this book on the website. I believe it was an 8 out of 10. Please go check that out though. I'll have that link down below if you want to see the cumulative score. But any of the comments or discussions that I have about this book on this channel are going to be my specific point of view, not the overall score of the book in the competition. So putting that disclaimer out there. But just general thoughts were that I thoroughly enjoyed this book. If Good Omens and The Good Place had a baby, it would be this book. And, you know, all of the references that went over my head, not for the fault of the author, you know, Terry Pratchett or Neil Gaiman for Good Omens, it just wasn't exactly my generation. Those kinds of witty jokes that went over my head because I didn't get the reference, I got all the references in this one. So I think that added that element that I felt was missing when I read Good Omens. I laughed out loud more than once. I loved all of the little footnotes and details in here. So much fun. So I had an amazing reading experience with this one and I flew through it every time I sat down to read it. I'm interested in reading some more by Olivia Atwater actually after reading this book, and I will definitely be buying a physical copy to have on my bookshelf. So since I finished that last night, today I have a couple things on my plate that I need to do. It is not a work day for me, but Hayato and I, you know, we did a lot yesterday around the house, as I mentioned, but I do have some stuff that I need to do today. Some visa stuff as well. But I have a feeling I'm going to be crashing soon, considering the interview started at 5 this morning and I had to be up before then. So I will be sleeping for a little while. But I do plan to listen to some audiobooks while I'm doing stuff around the house today that I need to do. The next audiobook I plan to pick up is the first novella in the Skyward Flight series by Brandy Sandy. There are 3 novellas and I have all 3 on, I was able to get all 3 from my library, so, and they're not long. So if I can get through those today while I'm doing other stuff around the house, that would be wonderful. I'm in a Brandon Sanderson mood ever since reading The Lost Metal, which I guess you can see here. That's not the right way, this way. Ever since reading that, I've been in a mood to be in the Cosmere. It's not the Cosmere, but I've been in the mood to be in one of his worlds, so I have a feeling this is going to hit the right spot for me. Fingers crossed that it does. So I'll be listening to those audiobooks. Physical read, I think the next one I'm going to pick up is actually right behind The Rage of Dragons here. Gosh, I don't take this book out to look at it enough. Look how pretty that is. This hardcover is just stunning. I forgot just how beautiful, it is. And here's Fires of Vengeance tabbed up. I didn't tab the first one because I think I read this one via audio, not audio, via, this is upside down. Lord, I need to sleep. Via Kindle ebook. And then I got the physical copy, so I need to tab this up when I reread it one day. Anyway, I think the next thing I'm going to read is The Shadow of What Was Lost. I pulled this out of my physical TBR jar, and I've really been enjoying my Kindle, but I think I want to turn some pages now, so I think that's going to be the next book that I pick up physically. Either way, I'll be sure to check back in with you guys later today and let you know the progress I've made. I was doing some editing and answering some comments and stuff like that. I'll have to get back to editing after this. I took a nap after the live, and then Hayato made a delicious looking pasta. It's a tomato cream pasta, and I'll just, let me see if I can hold it up. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to eat that. It looks so good. So I'm starving, so he gave me a big portion. Thanks, babe.
I had some food when I was cooking. So that's so
Traitor.
fun.
Traitor.
That's my right.
Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
Hi. We just decided to take a walk. Or I dragged him for a walk. More like I wanted to be out in the sun because it's finally warm today. So that's what we're doing. We're just relaxing with baby in the sun. So it's in that kind of, it's not quite spring yet. Like you want it to be spring, you want it to be warmer than it is. But the sun feels really, really good. We were gonna take a longer walk, but they were doing construction on the highway. So, pretty sure the highway. So, fortunately, our walk was cut off. So that means we're gonna head back soon. It was just a quick do-do-do. You know. I guess that's that update. Talk to you guys soon. Time to fold some laundry.
The corner of the couch.
Yep. Have a little bit of a snack and watch Spy Family. Alright guys, random check-in, but it's taco night. Homemade tacos. So excited. We're so hungry. We went to the hospital again today and we're exhausted. So, itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
Alright, it has been a couple days since I checked in. Yesterday, Hayato and I went to the hospital. I think I actually filmed a clip of the tacos we ate last night, so I think I did mention that. But it's the next day. Just a very quick update on my reading because I'm about to head out the door to work. But I have been listening to the audiobooks of all of the novellas in Skyward Flight, which is between Starsight and Cytonic. So I'm on the third novella. I'm about, I think 60% of the way through Evershore. I listened to the other two yesterday. So I think it was Sunreach, Redawn, and then the current one is Evershore. And I'm viewing this as kind of a collective thing, not actually like individual stories, because they're definitely chronologically connected to each other. I'm enjoying myself. They're all 3.5 so far, and I think Evershore is shaping up to be the same. I think I don't have as much of an invested interest in the characters in this series as I do some of his other works, so some of the character-based moments don't hit as hard for me, but it's still really fun, and I am enjoying the spaceship battles just as much as I remember doing in Skyward. I'm not usually interested in spaceship battles, but just the way they're written, it's interesting and it keeps my attention. So right now I'm in the middle of a big battle scene in Evershore, so I'm enjoying that so far. I definitely plan to finish this audiobook today, so I'll come back with final thoughts. Physical, I haven't picked up The Shadow of What Was Lost yet. I haven't picked up a physical book because I've kind of been out of the house. So I've been relying on audiobooks recently, but I say recently, but in the last couple days. But maybe tonight I will pick up my next physical read. Tomorrow is a little bit busy. I've got some shopping I got to do. Hata's birthday's this weekend, so I gotta do some prep for that. And also, baby's just making me tired. How dare she? So we'll see. We'll see if I actually get to the physical read. But I just wanted to update you guys on what I'm currently consuming, and I'll check back in soon. Hello guys, it is the next day. Yes, I may or may not be wearing the same shirt dress thing that you've seen, but you know, there's only so many things that can't fit in my closet. I feel like Regina George from Mean Girls, and she's like, these are the only things that fit me right now. Like, that's how I feel. Anyway, so I'm just hanging out with Pretzel a little bit here. He just finished his shed a couple days ago, so I was checking to make sure he got everything off, and he did, like a good boy. So I'm gonna put him away, and then I'm gonna go into Tenjin, which is kind of like the city center. So I'll take you guys with me, maybe get some B-roll footage there. I finished Evershore last night, which is the third book in the Skyward Flight set of novellas. That was also a solid 3.5 stars. Basically, all of them had the same exact feel to me. The themes were a little bit too on the nose for me, but I did enjoy a lot of the world building and the blow-by-blow spaceship fight scenes, which I never expected to like. And that was one of the things I liked the most about Skyward, just the fact that I enjoyed those. So Sando writes those really well. So those were really engaging, and I really liked like the new alien species we were introduced to and all that stuff. So I had a good time with them. They weren't mind-blowing or anything, but I enjoyed them. So now that I've read those, I can read Cytonic, but I'm actually going to take a little bit of a break from that world, I think, today, and start another physical book. I was going to start The Shadow of What Was Lost, my beautiful broken binding edition, but it does not fit in my book sleeve, and this book is not going anywhere unprotected. Absolutely not. So this chonker is too big to take with me today, as I smack my hand on the table to protect the book. This chonker is not, you know, it's too big to go with me today, so I think I might start another Kindle book today, possibly. I had a couple mood reading ones on my radar. I might go for On Lavender Tides, which is, I think it's a middle grade, so it's shorter, and I'm just feeling that kind of vibe right now, so I might pick that up. Basically, my main goal for going to Tenjin today is to do some shopping. It's Hayato's birthday soon. I have a couple things I want to pick up. And then since I'm making the trek, I'm being dramatic, it's not that far, but everything feels like a trek to me at this size. But since I'm making the trek into the city center, I think I'll probably go to a Starbucks or a coffee shop or something and do some reading there and just relax for a bit before coming home. I don't have work today, so I plan to just kind of take it slow and hang out a little bit. Pretzel is in adventure mode, so I might stay a little bit longer to keep him out of his cage and let him explore a little bit. Because he's been, you know, basically in his house for a long time preparing to shed, so he's got a lot of energy. So I might just hang out a little bit longer before heading in. You got somewhere to be, don't you? Genki ne. You know, I probably should study today as well. I'll bring a study book with me. I need to review some new vocab I learned in my latest lesson, so let me be a good student and do that. Okay, so I am on a mission to find a mini watering can. It sounds weird, but I want it for something I'm putting together for Hayato's birthday. And this store, Natural Kitchen, has tons of mini stuff, and I was so sure they would have it. So I looked at their other location in Tenjin, and they didn't have it. This one's a little bit bigger, So I'm just hoping, like they have like this little mini teapot. I want that, but a watering can. So I figured, you know, spring motifs. They got Easter bunnies. They've got, you know, like tulip chairs. There's gotta be a watering can here somewhere, right? But so far no luck. So if it's not here, I'm gonna have a very interesting day walking around Tenjin looking for a mini watering can. Got a cream thing. Not exactly what I want. That's the mission today. Let's see if we can accomplish it. They have an actual watering can. Just want a mini one, that's all. They have another here, down here too. Spray bottles. Just give me the small version of that. So I'm out of the underground mall right now. Basically the underground mall in Tenjin, the Chikagai, runs along the main street. So this is the main street here, Watanabe Dori, and it goes all the way up. So if you keep walking on the sidewalk down here, you'll hit a lot of the main department stores, and then the underground mall runs below. So I just came up over there, and I'm actually going to get a Subway sandwich for lunch, which is over inside this loft here. I have to do a little bit of shopping at Loft, and as soon as I thought the word Subway, I was like, yes, that's what I need. And Subway, there's only 2 locations that I know of that I can get to easily, and so I can't get that usually, so we're gonna go do that. Baby wants what they want. The craving is strong today, so I'm gonna go do that and then do some more shopping, and then when I need a break again, I'll sit down at a cafe and kind of, you know, do the whole coffee and read thing. But hopefully I can find some stuff that I want at Loft. Okay, so I forgot my tripod, so we're gonna get weird angles today, but I'm in Subway, and let me go ahead and eat my words from 2 seconds ago. I just got dressing on my jacket, god damn it. It's gonna be one of those days, because also, on top of that, Loft is also closed for renovations. So, I cannot do shopping here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk. The one thing I definitely know I want for sure for Hayato's birthday kind of package I'm making is this coffee that he loves from this like, yeah, fancy place. And so I'm gonna walk across town to go get that because it's the farthest away. And I'm gonna do that while I still have stamina. So I'm gonna go get that. And then I'm gonna walk back towards the center of Tenjin, and there's another store that's kind of like Loft that I'm gonna go to and see if I can find what I need there. So I'll take you guys with me, but first I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna eat. This staff also tried to tell me like another dressing would go better with this, and I was like, she was really trying to convince me. I was like, no. Chipotle dressing, and also put some jalapenos on there. And she looked at me like I was crazy, but baby knows what she wants, and that's what she wants. It's such a throwback to be walking in these back streets because I actually used to live around here before Haruto and I got together. I lived in an area called Kegels, which if you keep walking down these back streets, it's that way. And so this was my old haunt. I used to come this way a lot. I also used to go to an area called Daimyo. I'm sure that we'll go back to going to those places, but you know, family life necessitates being a little bit more of a homebody, so feels kind of fun to be back in this area. I never knew this is where they stored all the yatai. Basically, these get set up at night, and it's like a food stand on the side of the road. I never knew that they stored them there. I never noticed it. Hayato and I had something like that for a while, so major respect to the people who run those. It's a lot of work. Yeah, we're actually getting a little close to my house now. It's a little bar over there. I never came here. I wish I had. They serve lunch apparently. My old house anyway. This has changed. It used to be a yakitori place. I guess it's oden now. They had pretty good yakitori, but this area is really popular actually. At night it's all lit up. There's tons of people here. And it's really hard to keep a place open and running. So places change really often in the Keigo, Imaizumi, Daimyo area. So, like this is a new shop. That was something else before. I don't remember what. This nail place, though, called the Panty, this has been open since before I moved here. It's like resistant to closing. Never seen anyone in it, and I don't know why it's called the Panty, but clearly they're doing something right. So I lived right back in a building back there. Wow, feels so nostalgic to be back in this area. So Hayato and I fell in love with the coffee at the place that I'm going to get when I was living over in that area. And nothing has beat it since. So I'm excited. Usually you get a free little latte when you buy beans. So I'm gonna get a free little latte, hopefully. I had forgotten just how good their cafe au laits are. This is so fucking good. It's the perfect balance of everything. But I'm now just making my way back to the center of town, as that is where I'll be doing the rest of my shopping. As you can see, a lot of the restaurants in these back areas, I've been to this one before actually, it was pretty good. A lot of the restaurants in these back areas are getting ready for dinner. So, this is new. Haven't been there. New coffee shop. Oh, this wasn't here before either. How dare they change on me. That's one of the things that's fun about Japan though, is you can have all these sleek coffee shops and then you just have old shrines and temples dotted around in between. It's always a nice little surprise. My friend also opened up it was a pizza shop, but now I think it's turned into, I'm not sure. He changed the main food from pizza though. But he moved here from Italy a long time ago. He's married and has kids here, but he opened up a restaurant in Daimyo, which is the way that I'm heading now. So if they're open, I might go say hi to him. It's been a while. So that'll be fun. If you're ever in Fukuoka, this place is getting ready for dinner, so it's not lit up right now, but it's Ninoni. This is a gyoza restaurant. There's locations dotted all throughout Tenjin and in the areas surrounding it. It's delicious and cheap. Highly, highly recommend. Their shrimp mayonnaise is also really good. And this is one of the only places I've ever seen a good piercing shop. So if you're looking for a good piercing shop, Fukuoka. Which one was it here? I don't remember the name right now, but he clearly knows what he's doing. I'll put it on the screen later. But there's a very good piercing shop down that way. So this is kind of the vibes of Daimyo. Lots of small second-hand clothing shops. They have a lot of bars and restaurants branching off every which way. This is Alice on Wednesday. It's an Alice in Wonderland store that has a little mini door. I think I have this in a vlog somewhere at some point. But yeah, just everything inside is Alice in Wonderland themed. It's pretty cool. This would be fun to visit. If you guys want to see that in a vlog, let me know. I'm not trying to do any extra walking at the moment, but if I plan for it, then I could go in there and show you guys. This place changes constantly though. Like I said, hard to keep a restaurant open. But my friend's place should be down here, I think. Candy apples. Let's see if he's open. Looks like he might be just over here. I don't want to stick a camera in his face as soon as I get there though, so I'll check back in if I can in a bit. But it should be moshi moshi supri. I think it's right here, yeah. Here it is. Say hi!
Hi guys!
This is my friend Lorenzo.
This is my big shop.
Yes, gigantic.
Gigantic.
Oshare. Moshi moshi supri, right?
Moshi moshi supri.
Supri, yes. And this is the main menu item.
Yeah.
So what's inside?
Inside there is cheese, mozzarella cheese, and a lot of different Italian cheese like Parmigiano, and it's rice.
Ooh.
So like kind of risotto style.
Uh-huh.
And it's called moshi moshi suppli. The name in Italian is suppli al telefono. Telephone suppli. Why? Because you open it, the mozzarella melts. It becomes longer, and it's like old school telephone, right? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, and surprise comes from surprise, French, surprise also in English, right? Because there's mozzarella inside again. And so moshi moshi surprise, here it is.
Oh, I'm so excited. So I should get the cheese pull then.
Yeah.
So do you want to get it on camera?
Oh yeah.
The cheese pull of your delicious food.
Yes.
Let's see. So I waited the 2 minutes.
Yes.
There we go. Whoa, oishso.
All right.
Delicious. That's steam.
Oh yes.
じゃあいただきます。どっちしようか。どっちしようか。
Both too much.
Lorenzo,
Yeah.
it's delicious.
Right. We're not joking around here.
Oh my god. Well, if you come to Fukuoka, anyone watching the channel, I know a couple of you are in Japan. Come here. Wow, that is so good. Don't mind me.
Bye bye.
So yes, if you ever come to Fukuoka, you gotta come here. Moshi moshi supli. It's right in this back alley, this cute little back alley in Daimyo. You know, Hayato and I had our small restaurant, our small food stand as well, and you make little connections, throughout being here. So wishing him all the luck in the world. Of course, I had to make a quick detour at the bookstore because, come on now, y'all are watching my channel. No explanation needed. And I thought people would be happy to see Heartstoppers here. I haven't read it, but I know how many people love this. And this is one that I love. Kimitachi wa dou ikiru ka? How do you live next to each other? That's kind of nice. Here is the small English section. I always like to check and see if they've got anything new. Lots of Colleen Hoover, unfortunately. And I thought this was interesting to see the translation of Spy Family instead of the Japanese version. How much is this? Good lord, $17.50? The Japanese version's like $4. I guess, you gotta pay your translators, but good lord. This is more city center area. If you walk back that way, that's the main drag that has the bookshop on it. These are kind of the fancier stores. You can see there's Fendi, the department store here at Iwataya has a bunch of fancy stuff in it. Places that are fun to look at for me, but I don't usually shop there. There's a Starbucks up there that I might go to. Your girl is getting tired. I'm losing steam. So I think I'm gonna go to this last store, in Cube, which is up here on the left, and then get my dessert and decaf coffee, do a little bit of editing, and then call it a night and head home, because I don't think I've got that much more in me. Yeah, Iwataya, that's the name of the department store. We got Tiffany's over here. Louis Vuitton. This is the quickest light ever. You have like 2 seconds to walk. Okay, so I've got nothing left, really. I'm gonna be taking a bus from this stop, Tenjin stop, but as you can see, there's tons of people and not many places to sit. So there's a bakery down here called Antique that is also kind of Alice in Wonderland vibes, and they always have really good smelling bread. So I'm gonna go set up there for about an hour or so, rest my feet, and get ready for the last leg of the journey home. This is the bakery here. I was hoping they would have a strawberry fair. A lot of places nearby seem to have it right now. So I'm gonna get something with amao, which is Fukuoka strawberries. They're very, very sweet and delicious. So I'm gonna get something with those on it. Hey guys, it is the next day. So I did not check in when I got home from Tenjin last night because I was exhausted. I mean, I don't know if you can see these dark circles, but the third trimester has really been sucking the life force out of me. And yesterday was a wonderful day, but walking through the city like that is like a pregnant woman's marathon. I had to like plan the route so that I could sit, you know, I knew like this department store had a seat, this one had a bathroom, so I had to kind of plan where I was walking. But I'm glad that I was able to take you guys around with me in the city, because I haven't been able to really do that recently. So yeah, so that was kind of more of a Japan life focus. I hope you enjoyed that. Also, with my luck, last night, I had said that I was going to go to the cafe that was near the bus stop that I was going to take home, but that, the antique place, the first floor, which is the bakery, was still open, but the second floor closed like 10 minutes after I arrived, which was the cafe. So, and I didn't see the sign for that until I already picked out bread that I was going to buy, so I had to buy the bread anyway, or the pastries anyway. And then I left there, but thankfully I know the area, and there's like a Tully's coffee, like a coffee shop, and that's what I ended up videoing in. Those are the last clips you got yesterday. So I did get a lot done while I was in Tully's, which was nice. And then when I came home, I finished getting stuff together for Hayato's birthday. I was putting together a new dad box for him, and he loved it. I gave it to him this morning before work, but he unfortunately has to work all day on his birthday, poor thing. But we do plan to celebrate and do something tomorrow. So I'm taking advantage of today. I just got home from work, and I'm not gonna do anything else. I've decided I'm just gonna recover from yesterday. I'm having really bad heartburn actually right now. So if I'm talking weird or taking weird timed breaths, it's because I'm having really bad heartburn. So whatever baby is pushing on right now, it's not feeling very good. So I'm just gonna take today to rest, do some reading. I do have some editing to do, so I will do some of that. Right, I forgot to tell you guys reading stuff. So yesterday I started on Lavender Tides, which I can show you the cover real quick. It's right here. So this is a very Pokemon-based book. It wears its inspiration on its sleeve, but so far I'm only like a chapter and a half in, but it's reading really quickly, and the first chapter was really, really fun. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I think I'm gonna blow through this. So I read part of this yesterday, and then I started and finished an audiobook yesterday, which was Notes on an Execution. That is the pick for the Only Good Book Club for this month, and I'm just a sucker for like true crime, those kinds of vibes, even if it's not actual true crime, you know what I mean? Like that kind of media. I am such a sucker for it, and I could not stop listening to this book. It was so addicting. The middle did feel a little long, and I was like, come on, all right, we can move on now, but it wasn't enough to make me want to put it down. So I blew through that entire audiobook yesterday, you know, when I was in the bus, to and from, walking around. And I think I'm going to end up giving that one a 4 or 4.5 maybe. I really enjoyed how the author played with different points of view, because you get different points of view throughout the whole story. That was repetitive. You guys get what I'm trying to say. But one of them is that you get the point of view of the serial killer, but the author writes it as if you are the serial killer, if that makes sense. So the book actually takes place on the day of this serial killer's execution, and it'll say like, you wake up on the day of your execution and you feel this way, that kind of thing, to kind of get you, I guess, in the mind of the killer. And I really liked how the author played with that. So I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. Good time with it might not be the right word. It was, you know, heavy. It was definitely heavy, and there were a lot of hard topics discussed in it, but I liked the themes that the author dealt with, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. So I'm going to do 4.5, I think, for that one. And then, like I said, on Lavender Tides. I haven't decided what my next audiobook is going to be yet. I'm blowing through them, which is really nice. But I do think I'm going to close out this vlog at some point soon. It's been about a week and a half since I since I started it. Has it only been a week? What is time? I don't know. I don't know if it's been a week or a week and a half since I started this, but I have read quite a few books already for this vlog. So I don't want it to be too long. So I think I'm gonna cut this off soon. Maybe after tonight, I'll read what I read tonight, and then check back in with you guys tomorrow maybe, and then go from there. So I have to pick my next audiobook, and I also have a live on Philip Chase's channel next week for Jade City, which of course I've already read, but I want to reread it. So I think I might start that soon, actually, because I have a week to read that. That's not going to be a problem because I blew through Jade City the first time. I'm sure it'll be even faster the second time, but yeah, I should start that soon. Maybe I'll start that tonight. So apparently I lied about finishing the vlog before. Hayato and I are now at a coffee shop in Ropponmatsu. It's called, well, Tsutaya is the name of the bookstore, and they combine with Starbucks, and there's a lot of different locations all around. The Ropponmatsu location is very big, and you know, you can find places to sit and relax all down here. And then if you, I can't twist that way, hold on. If you go that way, that's where the bookstore is. So I will walk you guys around there a little bit after. But I was super happy because there's a new Jun Ida collection available. He had a, what's the word I'm looking for? Exhibition in Tokyo called Imaginarium. And this is a collection of some of his works, new ones from the exhibition and old ones from collections I already have. So I was super excited to see this, and I'm going to enjoy this while Hayato and I have some drinks. So on top of all the other birthday stuff, we also got some cheesecake. If you can believe it, this little box has 4 pieces of cheesecake. So Japanese in size.
It's good size.
We got 4 different types from a specialty shop. We got, what were the 4 types that we got? The premium one, which is like a chocolate chip one. New York, Earl Grey, and then that shop's special one. What's up? Hello. So I figured I would finally finish out this vlog as I've been promising. I think it's going to be way too long because I didn't stop it when I planned to, and there's been some extra clips, so I might have to edit some stuff out. We'll see how long this is. Sorry if it's super long, and if you're still watching, bless you, thank you. I'm not going to complain about the watch hours. I really appreciate it. But just to close out what's going on currently, Hayato and I spent a lot of the last couple days refreshing our plants. You can see them behind me. We also kind of broke down all of the cardboard, so you can see the mountain of cardboard here waiting to be recycled. It was kind of like a spring cleaning kind of thing. And it's finally warm enough to sit in the sun and do some editing outside on our balcony, which I'm so happy about because this is my favorite place to sit and read and relax. So amongst all the greenery. So it was a good couple days. So that's where I am life-wise. Reading-wise, guys, I don't even remember the last book that I talked about. What was I reading in my last check-in? I think I had just finished Notes on an Execution. I think that was the audio that I had finished. And I talked about that. Pretty short. Editing Taylor will see if that actually happened. But just to tell you where I am now before I start a new vlog, I started reading physically on Lavender Tides. I think I did mention that actually. So every time I sit down, I do blow through it, but I just haven't really sat down to read too much with that book. I don't really know why. I'm enjoying it. I'm not really sure, but I'll finish it soon. I'm about 50% through. Every time I sit down, I blow through that because it's a lot of fun. I don't think it's middle grade though. I think I was wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I was wrong about that. I don't know what genre it is, what age group it is, not genre, what age group it is. I'll look into that, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I won't go too much into it. I'll do that in the next vlog. So I'm currently physically reading that and also physically reading Jade City because I have a live over on Philip Chase's channel this coming weekend, and so I'm rereading Jade City in preparation for that. I'm super excited. I'm only 8% through, but it's so nice to be back and get going, and it's my first read of the series, and I'm not ready for what's gonna happen to my baby. I'm not ready. I know it's coming though. But yeah, so I'm thoroughly enjoying that so far. And then audio wise, I just borrowed Dance of Thieves from my library. The hold just came in, so I plan to start that in the next day or two. So I'm doing pretty good reading wise. The school year is coming to an end here in Japan, so this is my last week of the school year with my current schedule. So we'll see what my schedule looks like in the next coming weeks or whatever. I may have more time to read, I may have less, we'll see. But either way, some things will be changing around here, so you can look forward to that. But I think that's kind of it for the end of this vlog. Again, if you stuck all the way through, thank you so much. This is more of a Japan life vlog than I think a reading vlog, or maybe a good balance of the two, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed going around Tenjin. If there's things that you enjoy in these vlogs that you want to see more of, please always let me know in the comments, because I just kind of throw everything in there. But if people really enjoy plant stuff, if they really enjoy food stuff, if you really enjoy, you know, more daily life things rather than just reading, or just let me know what you enjoy from these, or if you like the current balance that I have. I'd love to hear that kind of feedback from you guys. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell. I'd love to have you as part of this community, and I appreciate it. But for now, I'm gonna head out. Jenny!